Hey there viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review, and today's review is going to be on 2007 movie Brawl, or in this case the Deluxe class version. Now, why do I do the Deluxe class version instead of the Leader class version? Well, I just can't find the Leader class version online right now, or at least for a good price. But if I ever do find the Leader class version online that I can afford, I will get him. But for now, this is going to be my movie Brawl figure. I mean, I still like this figure. But well, as you can see, just like every other character named Brawl, he's a battle tank. But unlike the other characters named Brawl, he's not a Combaticon. And, well, that's because the Combaticons were not in the first movie. Hell, the Combaticons were just recolors of the Energon Combaticons, and they were just released in the Revenge of the Fallen toy line, so... yeah. So this guy is technically not a Combaticon. But this guy is still really cool. And if anything, he's actually got a bit more firepower than G1 Brawl has, because not only does he have the main turret, but he also has these little guns here and these... I don't know if these are like little missile launchers or what, but he has these little guns up here as well. So he's definitely a bit more armed than G1 Brawl. He also has a bit of camo detailing, similar to Generation 2 Brawl. And having a bit of a 360 here. Okay, at the back... sorry, I dropped the figure by accident. At the back, we've got these little... if my phone will focus, we've got these little... I'm not sure if these are gas tanks or whatever. I don't know vehicles that well. Or I don't know tanks that well. I don't know what these are, but these do play into the transformation. The treads, of course, don't function, but we do have the wheels underneath, so it can still roll. The front, where we have these cow catchers, and these can be adjusted however you want them. I just had them like this so they're out the way when you roll him. The actual tank turret can rotate, and that's actually required for the transformation. But it's still cool. This bit can also move. Here we can see a Decepticon insignia on the actual turret. And the turret also functions as a missile launcher, which fires this translucent red missile. So yeah, this is a really cool tank mode. And unlike other recent reviews, I don't really have any comparisons. I don't have any other Brawl figures. I mean, if I had G1 Brawl, then I'd do a comparison, but right now I don't. So let's just get on with the transformation. But before I start, a quick warning with this guy. He actually can be a bit fragile. The Automorph gimmick does have gears that can be quite fragile on some versions of the figure, but on other versions, it's fine. Thankfully, on my version, it's the more stable version, because the gears on the more fragile versions are translucent plastic, whereas the more stable versions, such as my version, the gears are more opaque red plastic. Hopefully I'll show you in the transformation, but let's get on to the actual, well, transformation. So I like to start by just turning this entire section around. I might as well just turn the entire turret around as well. Unplug these treads and double hinge them around like so. This entire turret's just on a double hinge section like this. Transform the feet like this. And these sections I'll talk about earlier. Form heels. And split the legs. Okay, let's try and do the automorph thing. So if you push this down, it actually flips around the turret. Not the turret, the tread, sorry. I'm getting my words mixed up. But one thing I'd like to complain about, you see this? The head's actually shown in the vehicle mode, and you can actually see the gears just a standard red plastic instead of being translucent. So my version of the figure is one of the more stable versions. But yeah, the head does show in the vehicle mode, so that is a complaint. But the automorph, it is cool because it flips up the head and the treads, so they're on the shoulders. So that is cool. Now for the actual turret. Okay. So try and get these out. We'll take this entire section. Oh, I forgot to flip these bits out. Just flip it around like this. Flip this bit around and push that in. That's one arm. And do the same with the other arm. Only instead of this entire turret thing, flip this little claw thing around. Next, just move these arms around, and they're supposed to tab into a little peg thing, but the design flaw hinders this, so I just try and keep it so... I just try and put them to as close to there as possible. Yeah, they don't stain there, but if it's still displayable, it counts, but it does mean that this bit's pretty loose, unfortunately. Finally, take these bits, flip them around, and well, these actually form little shoulder guns. And you can orientate it however you want, but, well, here we have Brawl in his robot modes. And that's definitely a pretty unique transformation. I mean, he's got a Megatron-esque fusion cannon on his arm. What else? Oh. The treads end up on his shoulders. He's got this Wolverine-esque claw in his fists. So yeah, it's definitely a unique transformation. If only it could actually plug into this section here. I'm pretty sure there was a recolor of this figure that did fix it, but... Okay now. So having a 360 of the figure. We can see that the only backpack thing is this entire bit, but this was in the actual movie, because I'm pretty sure that he did actually have these shoulder guns in the movie, and he definitely did have this on top. Looking at the head, it's definitely pretty squat looking. It has light piping, which is really cool. I can definitely appreciate that. If you wanted to, the missile gimmick still works. I'm not going to fire at the camera because it might knock it off of the stand. But yeah, the missile gimmick still works. Ooh. Okay, there we go. I managed to get it in, I think. Yeah, it's hard to get it lined up. Oh, there we go. But yeah, it's a cool looking, but still, it's a cool looking figure, but the arms do knock off some points. Okay, now, so how about some articulation? The head can look up due to the automorph thing. That's some side-to-side movement. I guess you can call this battle damage. You can knock the arm off, and maybe it can hang off. Maybe it's like, as I said, battle damage. But it's on a ball joint. Got an elbow joint. At least I'm pretty sure he does, yeah. The claw section can move, it can rotate. Same thing with this arm, except instead of the claw, he's got this fusion cannon, I'm going to call it, because that's what it is. It's just G1 Megatron's fusion cannon. The waist, I'm pretty sure there's nothing, nope. The legs can go forward, they can't really go back that far. He has got knees, and they can't swivel sadly, and he does have a bit of foot articulation. So he is a bit posable, but yeah, this entire arm thing does sadly hinder it. So, have fun, is all I'm going to say. Have fun posing him. But, well, that's pretty much all I have to say. Complaints? Well, of course, the arm thing, because they don't really plug in that well. I mean, if you had blue tack or maybe some, well, not super glue, because then that would fuse it permanently, but if you had some blue tack, then maybe it would stay. I don't know. But another complaint is, this bit can pop off of the hinge if you're not careful. So that can also be a bit annoying. Another complaint is, well, this doesn't affect all figures, such as mine. Mine's actually pretty steady. Some figures can be quite fragile with the automorph, because some of the gears were translucent and really fragile. Thankfully, as I said, my figure is quite steady. But if you are wanting to buy this figure on the aftermarket, that is something that you are going to have to look out for. But, well, do I recommend this figure? Well, that's actually really hard to say. A part of me does want to say, well, yeah, Brawl is really cool looking. But the arms and the fact that some of them are quite fragile, I just want to say, be cautious. And if you only want one figure of Brawl from the movies, I'd say maybe just go for either the Leader Class figure if you really want a 2007 original version of Brawl, or if you don't care, just go for a Studio Series Brawl. But if you really want a Deluxe Class Brawl, be careful, because the arms and the fragile automorph in some figures do knock some points off. Well, this has been my review on Deluxe Class Movie Brawl, and this is Charlie Young, signing off.